Today I'm going to show you exactly how you can make a simplistic pack for Minecraft. And a simplistic pack is a pack in which the textures are less big than they are regularly in Minecraft. And simplistic packs can look really, really cool. Anyways, for this tutorial, I'm going to be making this simplistic pack right over here. This tutorial is going to work for both Bedrock Edition and Java Edition, as I'm going to be going over the actual texturing. If you want to know how to actually make a texture pack for Bedrock Edition or Java Edition, then those tutorials will be linked in the description below. And then after you've followed those tutorials, then you can start making your simplistic texture with this tutorial. Now, the texture pack that I will be making is going to work for Minecraft Bedrock Edition. However, you can also just follow along if you're making this for Java Edition, as I said, we're going to go over the actual texturing and not over how to make the texture pack. So, for this tutorial, I've got the two folders over here in which we're going to be texturing items, blocks, and items. For this tutorial, we're going to be retexturing all the different types of planks, as well as a totem of undying. So that's an item and some blocks. Also, one last thing, for this tutorial we are going to be using Paint 3D. Why, you may ask? Well, because it's really easy for me to explain and it's really easy for you to follow, as well as it being pre-installed on most computers. Feel free to use programs like Adobe Photoshop or Paint.net, but if you just want to follow along with the tutorial, I recommend Paint 3D. Anyways, let's get started with the blocks. So, we can just open these up in Paint 3D. It doesn't matter which one you're going to start with. Of course, now you don't necessarily have to do the planks, but I'm going to be choosing to do the planks just for this tutorial. So now there's a few things that I am going to explain. Number one is, well, you head over to the canvas, and this is the most important part. As you can see, the texture of a regular block or item in Minecraft is always 16 pixels by 16 pixels. And a pixel is the size of an object, and let's say you were to download a regular image from online. If it was a pretty good quality image, then it would be 1920 pixels by 1080 pixels. And that's just to give a bit of perspective to how small these things actually are. And that also goes on to the fact that you can't work with half pixels. That doesn't work. Pixels are the smallest size of things you can work with. What are pixels? Well, you can see that over here. As you can see, this block is divided into 16 by 16, which is 256 individual squares, aka pixels. Yeah? And as I said, 16 by 16 pixels is the regular size for a Minecraft block, right? And we are going to be making a simplistic pack, which means that we are going to want to make it smaller. So, now is your time to decide how small you want your simplistic texture pack to be. And now there's a few things that I recommend you choose out of. 12 pixels, which is only a tiny bit smaller. I should do that like this. There we go. 12 pixels. 8 pixels, and this is what I definitely recommend. I definitely recommend your texture being 8 pixels by 8 pixels. That's the perfect size for a simplistic pack. Or you could go with 4 pixels by 4 pixels. And now that's really small, and you can't really do anything detailed with that, but it is a cool challenge, and it can give you some really nice results. Anyways, for this tutorial, I'm going to be going with 8 pixels by 8 pixels. But I'm not actually going to decrease the size of the canvas. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the original block I had, and then I'm going to remove some things so that we have an 8 by 8 pixel area. There we go. This box in here is 8 pixels by 8 pixels. And we would get that if we were to reduce the size here to 8 pixels by 8 pixels. As you can see, I can select it over here and it is 8 pixels by 8 pixels. There you go. Also, if you want to do this and this is all white, that can be sort of irritating. So I recommend turning on transparent canvas over here. Now, why am I doing this, you may ask? Why am I making this 8 pixels by 8 pixels like so, instead of just reducing the size of the canvas? Well, allow me to explain. And to do that, first off, what the brush I recommend you use for this is the pixel pen. You can draw with this in pixels, and that's exactly how you want it. The thickness, reduce that to 1 pixel. That way you can work perfectly to create Minecraft blocks. Anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select a color and then give this an outline of 1 pixel by 1 pixel so I know the area that I'm going to work in. And now I'm going to create a new plank. Yeah, and this is a crimson plank, and unless you're some sort of extremely crazy talented artist, it's probably not gonna look great if you just delete everything and then wing it. Yeah, so what I recommend is to select this button over here. It's the color picker, and then to pick some colors from the existing thing, and then to just place them outside of the square. So now I've got, that's the same color. Let's see. So I want a really dark color, a bit of a lighter color, and then an even lighter color. There we go. And now there are 5 different colors in here, and I'm just going to be working with these 3. Yeah, and that is the reason why I didn't decrease the size of the box or the canvas, but that's so that I have space outside of it to work and to think and also to select colors. So when creating a simplistic pack, don't use too much colors. As you can see, this is what the plank originally looked like, however, just 4 times as big, and this 4 times. And with all these different colors, it looks kind of busy, and it doesn't look so nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this, and then I'm going to create my own plank, but only using these 3 colors, which will look a lot nicer. And here we go. I retextured the block with only these 3 colors, and it is smaller. And this is exactly what a simplistic texture is. It is decreasing the size of the block. And now obviously you can do whatever you want. You can retexture it with any colors, but I'm trying to keep it the way that Minecraft intended it, and using the same colors as that were originally used. And now, this is good, this is how I want it. So now I'm going to reduce the size, just like so, to 8 pixels by 8 pixels, and now I've got my block. So I can just hit Ctrl S to save it, or go over to the menu and then save it from there. Then I can just click it away, and we're done with that one. Now you can go on to texture whatever you want, and try and keep them the same size. That's very important. This one's 8 pixels by 8 pixels, so I'm not going to make this one 4 pixels by 4 pixels and this one 12 by 12. That's going to look really, really weird in game. So, that was the blocks. With the items, you can go ahead and do the exact same thing. So let's go over to the totem over here, and then I'll do this together with you guys. So, this is a bit different because I can't just go like this and say, well, I'm going to make the totem from here. that's gonna look a bit weird. So with the totem, I'm gonna use a different method. And that method I like to call shrinking the texture. So I'm not actually going to use a brush for this. I'm going to use the select tool, and then I can just go over here and move this in there, move this in there, and move this in there, and as you can see, I've already made it a bit smaller. Of course, now it's going to look really weird, so I'm going to erase a few things, erase that as well. Then I can use the select tool again to bring this down one more. Then the eyes look a little bit weird, so I'm just going to go like this. Oh, need to decrease the size of that. There we go. There we go. Let's go like that. And then let's give it its dark green eyes. There we go. We can decrease the size of the wings as well. So let's select that and move that in. And we can grab the eraser again, erase those two. There we go. And then just, push in every single part of the texture you can. There we go. And this is what I think I'm going to end up with. It looks pretty cute, doesn't it? I really like it. So then again, we can just hit Ctrl S to save, and now you can go on to texture whatever you want, but I'm done with my pack. Now that our pack has been made, we can simply compress it to a zip file, then change the file extension to .mcpack, and then we can just import it straight into Minecraft, ready to go. Anyways, I hope you learned something from this, and if you did, then make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you'll get notified when the next video comes out. Anyways, thank you ever so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Bye bye!